So today's topic was actually voted on by a bunch of you guys. You wanted to know how to get over the fear of judgment, especially from people you know in real life, when you're just starting off creating online content. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Let's get right into it. So this is really a mindset shift that you need to make when you're just starting to do anything online, whether you're creating videos or podcasts or blog, whatever way that you're showing up online. There's always that, we all face this fear of, oh my God, what are people going to say? Are people going to make fun of me? So let's get into the major mindset shift that you need to make. This is what really helped me when I first got started, is constantly telling myself that who I'm making this content for and why I'm showing up online is not for the few people that I know in my real life. So forget about whether the people are going to be supportive or not, whether people are going to judge you or not. It becomes absolutely irrelevant. Whether they support you or not doesn't matter, because the people that you know in real life are, a very small percentage of the people that you're ultimately trying to reach. So if you're trying to, start something online and starting to create content, you are building an audience. So you're trying to reach, a huge amount of people, basically, because, if you have a message that you want to spread, if you have a service that you can offer, if you have something of value that's going to help someone else, you want to get that out to as many people as possible, right? And that's why we do this, content marketing, creating content and putting it out onto this online space. The point is to get whatever gifts we have out to as many people as possible. And so when you're here trying to reach, thousands and hundreds of thousands of people, maybe millions of people, and you're considering what are, the 10, 20, maybe like 50 people that because think about it, it's not even everyone you know. When you're scared, when you're afraid to start showing up, usually you're thinking of a few specific people, and you imagine what is this person gonna say, what is this person gonna say, and there's some very specific people, and it might be just a few people really in the grand scheme of things, and they may not even care, and whether they do or don't, it's absolutely irrelevant, because your message is going to be impacting so many more people who don't even know you yet, and that's who you're trying to reach. The people who need you, who need your message, who need the gifts that you have to offer the world. Those are the people that are waiting for you to show up and reach them, and you're not going to be able to do that until you get started and just keep relentlessly, putting your message out. So why are you going to let 5, 10, 20 people that actually are not your ideal customer or not your intended audience hold you back from reaching the people who need you? Because there are so many people who need you, and I can almost guarantee that the people that you're thinking of, that you are afraid of judgment from, are not the people who need you. So my first tip for you in getting over this fear of, holding yourself back because you are afraid of judgment is to really focus on who your message is for. Your message is not for your family and friends and the people in your immediate circle who you are afraid are going to say something. They may or they may not. And you have to just learn to kind of tune that out and focus in on the person who needs to hear your message. And then now I know that's so much easier said than done. You're still it's so natural to feel these, fears of, okay, like I can focus on my ideal client, but they're not here yet. The people who are seeing your things in the beginning are the people who know you in real life. So this is where you just kind of get some blinders on and keep pushing through and keep actively trying to reach out and connect with the people who are your ideal audience. So get in those, hashtags and, go through other people's posts, like join or follow other people who are doing similar work, interact with, their audiences in the comments, interact with them, build connections, and really find that community who needs you. And that's going to help you, tune out everything else, because now then you're going to be talking directly to those people who actually need your message, who actually resonate with what you're going to say, rather than just throwing out content and all you see is, just the people who know you in real life, who may not completely understand what you're doing, are the only ones watching. So in the beginning, yes, you're going to have to kind of push through while there's no one else and it's only the people who know you in real life. But, find the people who are supportive. So when I first started, I was dead scared to even add anyone that I knew from my real life onto this Instagram. So I went through my old, my personal Instagram that I had before, and out of about 270 people, I added 70 of them onto this account that I thought, okay, these people may not judge me as much. And I still wasn't sure, who was going to fully support me, who was going to think, like, what is this crazy chick doing? But I was at a point where I was like, what I have to say is so important. And I know that there are thousands of people who need to hear what I have to say. And I have to start somewhere. So I'm just going to do it. I'm going to not care what anyone who is not my ideal audience, which honestly, like most people that I know in real life are not my ideal audience. And it actually turns out some of them are, which I'll get to. But yeah, I didn't know that I was going to resonate with anyone who actually knew me, but I had to start somewhere. So I added a few people. Like I said, not even a third of the people that were following me on my personal account, but just people that I felt comfortable enough with that I thought, okay, they won't actually talk shit to my face. So I was like, okay, at least I don't have to hear it. So and actually, they've actually been like very supportive, which I found out later. But, when you're in that mindset of what are people going to say, you don't know how people are going to react. So you just have to kind of turn on your blinders and just do the thing, because what you have to say, your message, is far more important than anyone's judgment. There are people who need to hear your message because you have gone through things in your life, you have learned things, you have these experiences that you are meant to share, and they're going to help so many people. So look at that as your objective, keep that in sight and just work towards reaching those people. So forget everyone else who may or may not judge you and just keep pushing through until you reach the people who need to hear your message. And then what I've actually realized as I've gone on this journey of, relentlessly and unapologetically showing up and sharing my message, is that there are people in my real life who I would have never imagined would resonate with my message, who have reached out and actually thanked me for doing this and said, oh my God, like, this is so great that you're doing this. You have given me the courage to step up and do the same kind of work. You have inspired me to take action in my own life and create my own business and pursue dreams that I was putting on the back burner. So you never know who you're going to impact. You never know who is going to be inspired by you showing up. And maybe some of the same people that you thought would pass judgment on you are actually going to be so inspired by you. And some of them may actually come up and say to you, a huge lesson that I've learned in my life is that when you're doing something great, when you're living out your passion and you're showing up and you're doing the damn thing, there are going to be people who come up and appreciate you, verbalize that they're inspired, that they love what you're doing. But if there's even one person who says that, there's for every one person who actually tells you that they're inspired by you, there's 10 others who won't even say anything. Think about your own behavior, right? Do you comment on every video that touches you? Do you comment on every blog post, every article that you read that resonates with you? No, we rarely ever leave a comment. And so the lesson there is, you're actually reaching and impacting and inspiring so many more people than you realize, because not everyone will say something to you. They will consume your content. They will be inspired by it. They will, then go on and do whatever they do because you inspired them. But you will never know, because it's just, it's just human nature. We don't always go and tell someone oh my God, you inspired me so much. We don't take the time to always do that. None of us do. And, it's not something they're not being appreciative. It's just, it doesn't even cross their mind. So whatever the reason, if you have at least one or two people telling you that you've inspired them, chances are you've inspired so many more people who are not even saying anything. So yeah, come from that place of, I have a message. I have something to say. This is important. What I know, what I believe, the gifts I have are important, and people need this. There are people who need this. There are people who are going through the same things that I've gone through, and now having gone through them and being on the other side, I can help them. So come from this place, again, I keep saying, come from a place of service and just focus on finding those people, finding the people who need you and serving them, and just tune out the rest. And it's not easy, but it's necessary, because there are people who need you, and there are people who need you even in your own real life community that you will never know about until you start showing up. So I hope this inspired you to finally take action on whatever it is that you've been putting off on because you've been so scared of the judgment. Because what you have to say, what you have to share with the world is so much more important than anyone who may judge. People may judge you, but if someone's gonna spend time bashing you when you're showing up and doing something and making a difference, well, who's really the loser here? Not you, girl. You're showing up, you're doing important work, keep doing it. If anyone has any judgment, they can just keep that to themselves, and you just need to let it go and keep doing your thing. All right, I'll talk to you next week. Bye.